So when I say we're starting with the two, there's three of you on screen, but two are related, one is not, right? So
Right.
um, mom and daughter are on the outside and the friend is in the middle. But the gentleman that I've been talking about before we started recording, that's walking back and forth all impatient and excited that you're here, is your husband and your father. Am I understanding that?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So that's, he's here. Let's jump right in because he's like so excited that you're here. Just saying. Before we even start, he's like, make sure she knows I dressed up for this. I don't dress up for nothing. I don't dress up, Tracy. I dressed up for this. Interesting. Okay, are you ready to do this?
Yes.
So we're going to start with a connection exercise. This just helps me get connected to your energy. So what I want you to do is I want you to sit with both feet flat on the floor for just a minute. And then when I'm done talking, what I want you to do is close your eyes. And then I want you to take a deep breath, picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it directly towards me and give me a minute to focus. Okay. He's funny, this guy. I'll tell you this. So, the way I feel this energy is a little is kind of both ways because see I have a daughter and a mother here, so I feel a husband and a father energy, so it comes through a little bit interesting for me. Right away he steps forward, and okay, so this process is what I call the puzzle dump, because when we do that connection exercise there's a huge amount of information that washes over all of my senses, but to me they just feel like puzzle pieces because I'm not in your life. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to explain to you everything that I'm picking up, and then we'll go back and figure out how that fits. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So right away, he's taken me to the chest. Like, I don't know if you noticed me grab my chest right away. And he made me feel, he took me to the chest. I felt this pain, or like I couldn't breathe, which is what he was doing to me earlier. I could just feel this trying to get my breath. I even got dizzy and lightheaded. Like, I don't know if he passed out or if there's like, I can't catch my breath. And I kept like coming in and out of consciousness. I'm not sure exactly how to understand that. I know he shows me sudden, unexpected. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that he just suddenly died. It could mean that he got sick very quickly and died before we were expecting him to. But the whole thing happened way before we were expecting him to. He's definitely stepping forward with a mother figure on the other side. I'm not sure if this is his mom, your mom. I'm not sure who this is yet, but he shows me distance or space. Either she's been there for some time, or he's a distance away when I think she's been there for some time. He's got the heart around the two of them, and I hear, she's here, she's here, she's here. But when I say she's funny, he does this. He says, right away, he showed me dressed up in a suit or something like that, and he took it off. The second that I started seeing him, he put on shorts and a t-shirt. He's like, hey, she knew I was dressed up. I can get comfy now? I'm good. I'm like, oh, you're funny. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So my dad died of a heart attack,
Mhm.
and it was very sudden. We didn't know that he had any heart conditions or anything like that. He just woke up one morning and started having symptoms. So
And was
that's what
dizzy and lightheaded and couldn't, you see what I'm feeling here?
Yeah.
and the woman, the mother finger, that might be the mare.
Say that
Yeah.
again.
My grandmother, so
My mother
her mom.
might be her. I'm not sure.
Is
His
his
mother.
mother still here in the physical world?
Yes.
Could
Then
be his.
definitely it's your mom.
Can I tell you why I think it's her?
Yeah.
They're buried side by side, different plots, but side by side.
Of course he would bring her forward then. Do you see what I'm saying? Distance or space. So has your mom been gone for some time?
2008.
2008.
So yeah, like we're talking going on almost 20 years, right? getting close to that. So that's one of this is what I mean. They use the signs and symbols that will relate to only the person that they're bringing forward. And so he stepped forward with the mother figure, distance or space, that's been on that side for some time. Now, when you said you laid them next to each other, he's like thanking you for that. And it's interesting that I couldn't figure out until you said is if this is his mother or your mother. And you know why? Because love feels like love. It doesn't feel like blood. It feels like love. And this woman said, "This is my son." And I'm like, okay, so is that like son-in-law, son? Do you know what I mean? I don't feel a differential there. That means she loves him very much. And she's like expressing a lot of gratitude. But your mom is jumping up and down on that side, which is my symbol that she has free mobility and no pain. She's showing me that the pain is gone. Her death feels a little bit slower in a sense. It feels more like, I don't know if this was cancer or an illness that went on for some time, because it feels like it gets bad, then it gets better, and then it gets bad and goes again. Do you understand that?
She had a lot of heart problems. She was in and out of the hospital all the time.
Yeah. So she's like, please know that I'm good on this side now. Is your dad still here in the physical world?
My dad,
She just put, okay, so then this is your husband she meant, and then your dad's stepping forward. See what I mean? This is why I try to limit it to one or two people. Otherwise, your whole family tries to step forward. Dad's not missing out, I'll tell you that. But she just pushed him back. She's like, listen, she put the white blanket over dad's shoulders, so your husband's shoulders, your daughter's dad. And she's saying, I'm taking just as good of care of him on this side because he's my son to me. I love him. But your dad's got to get in on this action as well. Is he a smoker? Because I can smell cigarette smoke.
um, he wasn't a smoker. No, no.
Who's the
He smoked.
smoker on that side then?
My husband.
Okay. So what happens is,
And my mother.
and your mother?
Yeah.
So I love how Spirit does this. It's interesting because then he just gave your mom a yellow and a red rose. Were your parents separated or divorced before they passed? Or did one pass a very long time before the other one?
My dad passed in 79.
Got ya. See? So this is his way of letting you know that he is with your mom and your husband on the other side because he reeks like smoke.
I can't remember if my dad smoked or not, whatever. I was only 14 when he passed away, so can't remember.
They'll use those kinds of signs to let you know that they're with the ones that you love on the other side, right? And he's like, I'm buried there too, you know. He's showing me that there's, it's weird because it feels like same city, different plot, or same, like, I don't know what I'm seeing. Same thing, but different. Same, but different. I don't know what that means.
Well, they're two plots side by side.
The Marin Prepare
There's my
are
mom and my
the
dad.
same tombstone.
Yeah.
They're buried together. And then my dad is right next to them.
To another tombstone, but my mom and my husband are like
Yeah.
side by side.
Well, same.
Yes, different plots, different tombstone, but
Yeah.
next.
So your dad just showed me the hand coming down to get mom. He wouldn't, I just asked him, how did you die? And I tasted blood, which is my symbol for trauma. It doesn't necessarily mean there was blood. It means the situation was very traumatic when it happened and how it happened. He just says, make sure they know I'm all in one piece. I'm good over here. I'm good. I'm good. I'm all in one piece. I'm good. How did dad pass, hon?
He passed away of a heart attack, but he was across the street at a garage. And when he came to come back home, he died in the middle of the road. Well, not on the side of the road.
Your family really needs to invest in some cayenne pepper. Do you know what I mean by that?
No.
So something that the medical profession will never tell you. It's not, they're not allowed. I gotta be careful how I say this. Cayenne pepper is probably better to treat heart conditions than any pharmaceutical ever could be. Look it up when we're done. You can even get little cayenne pepper capsules and stuff. I want you to research what cayenne pepper will do for the heart. because it is better than any pharmaceutical that you could ever have. If you have heart disease in your family, that just lets you know that you're susceptible to heart disease. So if you know that and you do what you need to do to prevent that from happening, then you're never going to suffer that same fate. So he's given you those cayenne pepper, like your dad, your husband. I can feel that fear of heart all around you. So just take a little bit of cayenne pepper every single day and research, what does cayenne pepper do for the heart? I promise you, your mind will be blown and you are not going to go through that same fate. Does that make sense?
Sure, absolutely.
They just gave you a rose, which is birthday, anniversary, or a date that happens once a year, and two dates close together. Feels like it means two different things. Like there's a birthday or an anniversary that either just passed and coming up, and then something different. Like if it's a birthday and then an anniversary, or an anniversary and then a birthday, or something like that. But there's two coming up or just passed.
My birthday just passed in July and my anniversary is coming up September 6th.
There you go. They're validating for you that they know that, and your husband is wishing you a happy birthday. Oh, no wonder he dressed up. Okay, he pushed your parents out of the way. He's like, "Hey, back to me for a second, and back to my beautiful daughter." He's thanking your daughter. Did your daughter bring you here? Did she kind of force you? Not force you, but go, "Come on, mom. I know you said you bought the ticket," but he's like, "Thank you for doing this. Thank you for dragging her here."
She booked it and she told me about you. So I said, okay, let's go for it.
Because it's funny when you say that, he shows me opening your mind. And sometimes this is hard for people to believe in, right? And so they don't want to take a chance on something like this in case it's not true or in case they say the wrong thing, right? Your husband brought you here not to dazzle you with like magic or anything, but to teach you his language, because this man loves you so much, it's not even funny. He keeps showing me bursting open the throat chakra, which is my symbol for saying things that I should have said when I was here in the physical world. And he's saying, "I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you." And I know he said that to you here, but he's saying he didn't say it the way he should have, or he didn't say it enough here in the physical world. And he needs you to know that he loves you so freaking much. 30? Were you guys married 30 years? How long were you guys married? I saw the 3.
Well, 30 might not
My-
have been how long you guys were married.
No, but
my
yeah,
dad was, he was 30 when he passed away.
Oh, he's been gone for some time.
passed away in 95. We weren't quite married 5 years. We got married in 1990. He passed away in May of 95, and we were married in September. So not quite 5 years yet.
And he was in his 30s when he passed.
Yeah. Well, my daughter was 3 also. If you see 3, my daughter
Oh,
was
wow. No wonder. Okay. And that's why, okay, so that helps me make sense. I'm hearing wedding bells all around you, but I almost feel like if you're married already. Are you married or in a relationship already?
me. No,
Daughter.
I am not married or in a relationship.
no, she's separated. Yeah.
I am separated. I've been separated for almost a year now. I've been in the dating pool for
Okay, so hold on a second. You did get married at some point.
get married. at some
This
point.
is what I'm saying. Your dad's stepping forward, playing wedding bells in my head and going, "Make sure she knows that I was there. I was there. I was there." That's why I'm like, I'm confused. I don't feel like you're getting married. I felt like you were already married or something. This is what he's talking about. See, what he needs you to know is that he hasn't missed a moment of your life, that he can see everything going on. And he was absolutely at your wedding. In fact, he's thanking you for I'm doing something to remember him at the wedding. I don't know what you did to remember him, but he knew you honored him at that wedding. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I had his picture tied around my bouquet.
And plus, they had a father-daughter dance.
Oh, I did. I had a father-daughter dance with his cousin / best friend.
/ best friend.
That best friend now, is he having some health issues? Because he just put the white blanket around his shoulders, which is watching over somebody that has health or stress issues.
Yeah, he has.
Oh, it's a cousin, eh? Cousin best. Yeah.
He has, or he is in the process of battling colon cancer.
It's interesting. Your dad just he showed me the shotgun and then he gave you one. That's interesting. So the shotgun is my symbol for protection. When your loved ones up there show me they got that shotgun, it's like, don't worry, honey, I got you covered. I got your back. I can keep you protected. But it's interesting that he gave you one because that tells me that he's wanting you to know how to protect yourself. That tells me that you felt like you were stuck for some time in that other relationship and didn't know how to get out.
Yeah, that's very true
Your
for
dad
me.
was there with you the entire time, and he needs you to know that. Like, I just see him comforting you while you were crying and trying to fill you with the courage. He's like making me feel like it took a few times before you were ready to leave, but you finally got that courage together and you were out the door.
Yeah, it did. There was a few times where I had brought up the topic before I actually decided to leave.
You know, that's another reason why I hear wedding bells around you. Because when you get out of a relationship that's not meant for you, you are so much closer to being in a relationship that is good for you. So it's like the wedding bells get louder. What that tells me, because see, your dad on that side, he's up here. He can see everything up here. We here in the physical world is sometimes like living in a giant third dimensional corn maze. You can only see what's right in front of you. You can't see which one of these tunnels are going to lead to the destination that you want. Dad's up here. He can see the whole thing. So what you got to do is you got to tell him what kind of guy you want. How does he feel in your world? What does your life feel like and look like with this man in your world? And then your dad's going to line him up for you. But you got to think about what you want. It's funny because he's like showing me stinky thinky. I know it sounds funny. What that means is that you're very aware of what you don't want.
Mhm.
If you keep being very aware of what you don't want, guess what you're going to get?
What I don't want.
That's
Well,
right. Exactly
I
it. If you go into a restaurant, so if you understand that life is like a restaurant, everything you see is on the menu. You can have whatever you want. But if you go into the restaurant and you say, I don't want this and I don't want that and I don't want this and I don't want that. What do you want? What do you want? How can the universe send you what you want? So then your dad's saying you're being too general. I just want to be happy. Okay, go into a restaurant and order happy food. What you gonna get? Something that tastes good to you or to the waitress because you're making her choose for you. You say, I just want to be happy. I just want to be healthy. She's going to send you pea soup. You might not like pea soup. What do you want? Be specific. Think about what you want. When you're thinking about it and feeling happy, knowing that dad's going to send it, boom, comes right in. But so long as you are focusing on what you don't want, then that's what's going to show up in your reality because the universe has an algorithm to it, just like YouTube. So if you type into YouTube, I don't like dogs, don't show me dogs, I don't want to see dogs, what's YouTube going to show you? Here's the beauty in this is that it's not easy to be in a challenging situation like that you're in right now, ending one thing that you know was not good for you, but getting ready for something that is going to be better for you. But the beautiful part about this is that when you understand that dad is with you and that he can help you with this, your job is not to figure out how to get from where you are to where you want to go. Your job is to just know what the destination looks like and feels like and give it to dad. And then what he's going to do is he's going to put you in the right place at the right moment at the right time to line you up with what you've asked for. And when that happens, it's going to be so big and dramatic that it will be mathematically impossible to be fluke, random, or chance after you've asked him for it. And in that process, you feel that connection with dad. You feel his presence, not his absence. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've been seeing the birds. I just keep seeing feathers and birds all around you. Have you been noticing the feathers and birds around you recently?
Not really, no.
Do you understand? So it's funny because your dad just rolled his eyes when I said that. And one of the reasons why they'll do that is because it means that they've been trying to make it obvious. But if you don't understand a sign or a symbol, then it means nothing to you. And your dad doesn't have a physical body to show up and say, I love you, honey. I'm going to help you with this. I'm going to guide you towards what you want. He has to send you the sign or the symbol that will deliver the message he's trying to give to you. But if you don't know something is a sign or a symbol, you just pass it off as fluke, random, or chance.
Yeah,
How much you,
I've asked him for signs and symbols. Like every time I've met someone new or started speaking with somebody, even if it was somebody that I've already been connected with, I've asked, but I don't know what to
Because you're
look
being too general. That's exactly it. I need a sign. And then they deliver signs to you and you don't recognize it as a sign. That's just a stupid bird. What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. Yes, it does. Here, let me help you. Feathers, birds have a connection to feathers. Feathers have a connection to angels. Angels and feathers show up when you feel like you need protection and guidance because they are up here and they guide you. And not just that, here's where it gets even better. You start seeing those feathers and those birds all around you. You need to hear this song. Goes, every little thing's gonna be all right. Don't worry about a thing. You ever heard that song?
for little birds.
That's the name of it, Three Little Birds. The thing you have to understand when you ask your dad for a sign, what you have to understand is there is no such thing as fluke, random, or chance in this universe. Those don't exist. There is coincidence, but coincidence does not mean fluke, random, or chance. Co means together. Incidences are happenings in your life. Together happenings. When you pray for a sign or a symbol, then you see a lot of coincidences. That is your loved ones and your guides in spirit guiding you along the way, using together happenings to guide you towards what you've asked for. So when you say prayer for signs and you get birds all around you, it's not a coincidence, or it is a coincidence. It's a together happening.
So I had recently asked him like for a sign about someone I have been talking with. And I just, like I said, I didn't know what to look for. So it just kind of went over my head, I guess.
Okay, well, now we're going to get even more specific on that because your dad's throwing you change, coins and dimes and nickels and pennies and anything he can get his hands on. Are you in Canada, by the way? Because I saw loonies.
Yeah, we're in Canada.
Okay, literally saw loonies and toonies as well. So have you ever heard the saying pennies from heaven or dimes from heaven?
Yeah.
So you know if you find a coin, it means pick it up, they're with you, right?
Yeah, I found a dime, I think, after my first reading.
Of course, because that's what they're using that to let you know they're there, but it means a lot more than they're there. So when you find that coin, first thing, as soon as you see that coin in your world, wherever you see it, I want you to hear this. Because that's spirit's way of letting you know that they're at the door. They're with you. They're knocking at your door. They want you to know that they're there. Now you got to ask yourself, why are you here now? What is going on in my life right now that you would be knocking at my door? Did I ask you for a sign? Is there something going on in my world that needs to be celebrated that they would want to show up for? Is there something going on that I need reassurance or guidance for? What is the reason that they're knocking at the door? Then I want you to look at the date on the coin. The date is going to have something to do with who sent it or what they are talking about. Now I want you to look at that coin. Is it face down or is it face up? When you ask a question like that, is this somebody that's going to be good for me? If that coin's face down, it means put them behind you. No good, not good for you. Put that behind you. If it's face up, it means yes, face this one. This one is to be confront. This is face. You see what I'm saying here?
Mm-hmm.
They speak symbolically. So the
Not
thing is, though, if they send you a sign and you pick it up and you go, okay, it just means he's with me, and you miss all of the rest of the communications, he's not going to keep using that sign because you don't understand it.
Right.
Now, it doesn't always have to be feathers and dimes and all that stuff. It could be anything.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
anything that
I'm
is. Sorry.
to know.
You go.
I'm curious to know though, like because I missed that sign. If he did give me one, right when I asked him about the person I was speaking with, I'm curious though as to what his opinion is.
When you say that, I see that shotgun again. And I hear, if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always got. There's something about this guy that feels like the last one, in a sense, if that makes sense. I don't know what it is, but there's a familiar vibration. And the reason why you're pulling that in is because you're still thinking about what you don't want.
Okay.
Don't think about that. This is what I'm saying. If I had, here's what you do. If I have a magic wand and I say to you, I'm sorry, what's your name, sweetie?
Sam.
Say that again.
Sam.
Sam.
Sam. Okay, so if I said, Sam, I have a magic wand and I can boop my magic wand and you will be instantaneously in your ideal reality. What does that look like? You got 30 seconds to tell me. Go. Can you do
Oh,
it?
right.
That's what I'm saying. When I say go and you're like, that's why you're not getting what you want. You don't know what you want. How can they send you what you want if you don't know? If you've spent all this time thinking and feeling about what you don't want, then you have no idea what you do want. And they can't send you what you actually want. So you know what they send you? They send you a taste test. Just like if you go into a restaurant and you say, I don't know what any of this food tastes like, I've never tasted it, I don't know what to order. They're going to give you a little piece of everything so you can taste it and go, ugh, that doesn't taste good, I don't want that. And you can taste a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Whoever that guy was, I don't feel like is the perfect match. You're not ready to be ready for your perfect match yet. You don't even know what you want yet. So he's brought into your life. What he's going to do is he's going to show you a little bit more of what you do want and a little bit more of what you don't want. He's meant to come in your world to help you fine tune what you're looking for. Now I know why your dad gave you the gun. Because it's not about him having to protect you. It's about you protecting yourself by choosing somebody different than you did before. By choosing somebody that makes you feel good in your world. Not just based off of how tall he is, what does he look like, does he have a good job, blah, blah, blah. Forget those things. I want you to visualize, how does your life feel when you wake up in the morning I want you to visualize your ideal scenario, waking up in the morning, feeling what it feels like to be loved. What does it feel like in your ideal relationship? How does he feel? How does your life feel? What things do you think about? What things do you spend your time doing? I want you to think and visualize those and say, Dad, this is my order. Now you watch the guys Dad sends your way. They will match that visualization. They will match those emotions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That gentleman feels like he was brought into your world, and it feels like you understood the assignment because you're not still with him, are you?
The one I'm thinking of, I'm not with anybody right now. I'm speaking with somebody, but I'm not with anybody. I was with somebody at one point.
That person you were with not very long ago, he was brought into your world to teach you how to fight for yourself, to teach you how to stand up for your boundaries, to teach you to create the boundaries. Because the thing is, if you think that somebody's perfect in your world, there's just a couple little things I have to change or whatnot. He can't, like, this guy's perfect, except for he lives in Ontario and I live in Alberta. If only he lived here, then it would be perfect. And you think that if you go to Ontario to be with him, it will all be perfect. It's not going to happen that way. That is what I call a boundary. So how do I word this? If your perfect guy lives here and you have access to him and he has access to you, but that's something that you're forgetting to put on your list of what you want in somebody, in the perfect guy, then the universe is going to send you somebody far away so that you can, not because they want you to fall in love with somebody you can't have, but to show you that you're missing something on your list. You have to put it on your list.
Okay.
I'll say it in a different way. I had a guy come to see me once and his loved ones were telling him the same thing. He was looking for love, right? And they gave him the same message. You got to focus on what you want. You got to tell the universe and your loved ones exactly what you want. Write it down on a piece of paper. When you write it down, we call that spelling. When you write your words down. Spelling. What's a spell? Something you cast out that comes back to you. Writing your words down on a piece of paper is a two-dimensional manifestation. You are taking the invisible vibration of thought and speech and manifesting it in a two-dimensional manifestation. Now your guides and your loved ones are going to gather together the components and create that in a third-dimensional way. So anyway, so you write down all the qualities that you want in the man and the relationship, and then you give it to them, and you just watch who comes in your world. Now, this guy that came to see me, he was doing just that, and he was like every day focusing on the girl that he wanted in his world. And 3 months later, he comes back to see me. I'll never forget this reading. It was so cute. 3 months later, he comes back to me and he says, Tracy, I did exactly what you said. And then last week, my buddy and I, we went up to Banff and we were in the Banff Springs pool or whatever it's called, the hot springs there, right? And he's like, and I'm in the pool and there was the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in my world. And her and I got sitting there talking and we were talking for like an hour and a half. She was like my dream girl. She's everything I've ever wanted. I was just about to ask her out and then her boyfriend came out. What the heck? What is that about? Why would God give me the exact everything I wanted and then make her have a boyfriend? And I was like, dude, did you put single on your list? He's
Yeah.
like, well, I thought that was a given. And I said, well, let me ask you, have you dated or had, relations with married women before? It's like, well, that was in the past. And I'm like, you got to understand, you have to put it on your list. Be specific. I want single. Here's what your dad is saying to you. He wants you to not give yourself to anybody who is not drop dead in love with you. That has to be the quality that was missing before. It's not about lowering your boundaries so somebody can meet you there to love you. It's about having high boundaries, and if they raise their energy to meet your boundaries, now you feel loved. You're never going to feel loved by lowering your boundaries so somebody can love you the way that you don't want. Do you know what I mean? So be specific about who you want, because it doesn't feel like it's long away. The fact that I can feel wedding bells around you and that your dad goes right to that and you're having relationship issues and it's the number one thing you want to hear about, he knows. He's right there with you. You just got to tell him and focus on what kind of man you want and he'll guide you right to him. But if he guides you to somebody that you don't want first, make sure you recognize what qualities in this man don't I want and what do I want, so I can fine tune my list. Think about it if the waitress brought you an appetizer and it's to help you figure out what you want for dinner. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Mom, he just put the ring on your finger. And I see two things. So, do you still have his ring?
Yes.
He
Well,
knows
my
that.
son, my daughter has it.
So he knows
My-
that you kept that, and he's thankful.
His ring or my rings? I have both, but
I was just gonna say, does it matter? Because we got them all.
yeah.
But it's funny because as I'm saying this to your daughter, he was showing me a similar thing with you as well. But is there somebody in your world right now? Like, are you remarried or have somebody in your world?
No.
You were.
You were.
You were with somebody.
Well, I was a long, yeah, I've been separated for 7 years. But I wasn't married, but we were together for a long time.
Because everything I'm saying to your daughter, your husband just keeps doing this, like goes for her too, goes for her too, goes for her too, goes for her too. Because he said, do you see how beautiful my wife is? She does not deserve to be alone for the rest of her life. And it feels like you've been thinking about, you know what? I'm too old for this. I'm not into this. I don't have the energy for this anymore. Here's the thing. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to. There is somebody out here that is waiting for you. I can tell you that. I can hear them praying for you. But just like your daughter, you've been thinking about what you don't want and the pain that goes with it and the stuff all of that stuff. You got to let go of that and write down on a piece of paper everything you do want and let your husband guide you towards it, because he loves you so much. And this is his way to be alive in your world again. When you start talking to him and you start receiving messages back that clearly and that instantaneously, you're going to feel him all around you. He said you smell him sometimes. Do you understand that?
Yes.
That's real. He's very much still with you. And it's interesting that you're both in a similar vibration, because you know what he said? He said, if you won't fall in love again for you, do it for him and do it for your daughter. Because you're doing it for him, not because he's trying to hand you off to somebody else, because he's going to be the first face you see when you get over there. But he will have peace knowing that there's somebody here to give you peace in the physical reality as well. That will give him peace. And also, your daughter can't learn how to bring somebody in her world that's perfect for her if you don't. Because our kids don't grow up and do what we say. They grow up and do what we do. So you're leading by example. And so it's not an accident. You're both in the same similar vibration because you need each other. Does that make sense? Then he says, just know he's going with you on that trip. He's like, I know I'm running out of time, but I'm going with you on that trip. He gave you guys a suitcase and there's something coming up. It feels like in about a month, maybe two, in October, September, October. Where are you guys going?
The only trip I could think of is I'm going to Mexico next year for a friend's wedding. That's the only trip we have planned.
Well, not me,
And
but
she's not going, it's just me.
unless I got a plan coming up soon, I don't know about it, but
He's taking me to October. What's in October? Is there a special date or something in October?
No, not that I could think of.
no, not that I can think of.
I don't know what it means, but I'm seeing travel like a road trip, not plane fare, anything like that, but like a road trip around October. Keep that in the back of your head. Every once in a while, spirit will, in these types of situations, when you're first learning their language, spirit will give you a sign or a symbol of something that hasn't happened yet, so that when it happens, you know that they're there, so that when it happens, you know they saw it before you did, so that you can trust their guidance a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Feels like there is something that you need to get away. That could just be it too, that you need a break away. You need to have a little, like, have a vacation, have a weekend away or something, because that can break that vibration of stress in your world.
Oh, she thinks she knows what it
I
is.
know what it
What
is
is it?
because this morning I was looking at Travel Soul's website and they're having that retreat. Remember, I told you October 3rd to the 6th?
Yeah, but you said it was too far away.
Yeah, but I said I did mention it. I brought it up.
See?
Is that
Do you understand that when I say your loved ones are watching over you, they see what's going on in your world? They're going to bring up details and validations of things I can't know, so you know they're there. And what he just said is that I see you going away in October, and that he brought that into your reality so he can guide you there. Now, if you don't know, have the money to get there or the time or whatnot, perfect. Because if you did, you wouldn't need him. He wants you to need him, because when you say, all right, Dad, if you're still with me, thank you for giving me the money to go on this trip. Thank you for getting me the time off. Thank you for making it happen, Dad. Thank you for showing me you're still here. And then you watch the chain of events start happening. And next thing you know, you're on that trip, which is mathematically impossible to be fluke, random, or chance right after you asked him for it.
huh?
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lastly, as he's pulling his energy back, he's like putting the heart around the two of you and just thanking you, thanking you, thanking you. Mom, especially, he said that you did such a great job. Is there another child too? Is there two children? Do you have two children?
I do, yes.
Because he's like showing me the pinky finger, which is my symbol for having more love and nurturing ability in your pinky finger than some people do in their whole body. And he's showing me that you gave both of these children that nurturing and love their whole life, that he left two children here. Do you
No,
understand that?
my second child is not his, that's not his father though.
Bite your tongue. Did you give birth to this child after he passed?
Yes.
Years.
And is it a
Yeah.
boy?
Pardon?
Is it a boy?
Boy, yes.
He doesn't care. Like I said, it doesn't care if blood relation. If that's your son, it's his son. He's watching over him like he was his son too. And he's saying that you are an amazing mother. See, that was the message he was saying, is that he was showing me the pinky finger, which is having more mothering and nurturing ability in your pinky finger than some people do in their whole body. Look at how well your children have turned out. That's because of you. That's the message he needs you to know, that you had to do that here in the physical world by yourself. You went through a lot of traumas, and that's hard to be a good parent in those situations. But he said you knocked it out of the park. And then he gave you a baseball. What is with the baseball?
I know, sure.
Feels like for the boy, does your son have a child or does your daughter have a child? Is there a little boy here?
I have a son and a daughter.
She have a, yeah.
He doesn't play baseball though.
Well, he feels too little for that. How old is he?
8. He's not too little.
Interesting. Oh no, this is it. Your dad just gave him a baseball. That's exactly what he's doing. He's like getting, I feel like, did your, you might not remember, but Mom, did he like sports a lot?
My son?
No, your husband.
I don't remember. He watched hockey, but not
Something about a baseball. So either it feels like, because I can feel the let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. And he's giving him like a baseball. And so there's an encouragement of getting him out of the house, getting him doing activities of like athletic activities and things like that. An encouragement of doing those kinds of things.
He plays soccer. He
my
plays
grandson
soccer.
plays soccer. I don't know if
Loves
that's that.
He keeps giving him a baseball. See, it's interesting that he keeps giving you a couple of things that are not happening yet. They did that to Christy. You see this lady below here, Christina, with the picture of the baby here below us, right? She's her little one, that little guy, he passed away. And he's famous for doing things like this, giving you signs of things that might not have happened just yet, so that when they happen, you feel their presence. Your son is getting more and more invested in sports, it feels like, the older that he gets. I can feel his energy coming alive. And your dad's showing me angels in the outfield, which is, I think, why I'm seeing a baseball. Have you ever seen the movie Angels in the Outfield?
No, I haven't.
I don't think so. No, I haven't seen it. No, I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
It's about, I believe it's been some time. I think it's made in the 90s, but it's about a little boy that lost his dad, and his dad's now an angel in the outfield that helps carry the ball and do home runs, and the angels help them win. You know what I mean? So he's like showing me that he's very much hands on with your daughter as well. But I think because he didn't get to have those experiences here in the physical world. Oh, I just got it. You, Mom, what's your name?
Michelin.
Michelin, he's basically, what he's saying to you is, we had this whole life planned. We were going to have a daughter and a son and a whole family, and I didn't get to do those things with you. So I'm living vicariously through you. I helped you, watched over your son, and now I'm watching over my grandson, and I'm doing all the things with him here in the physical world that I wanted to do with my daughter and with my son in the physical. I might not have gotten the chance to do it in the physical, but he's living vicariously through your daughter and your grandchildren now. He said go a little bit easier on him. There's something about cleaning his room. Um,
Just cleaning every room.
what does that mean?
My son is the creator of all messes. He
Also Sophie, but
no, I'm talking about Silas. He makes a lot of big messes. Like he's 8, but he loves to cook. So he'll make bacon and eggs, and he'll make uh, hash browns, and he'll make all sorts of things in the kitchen, but then leaves a disastrous mess. Or like everything this kid touches turns into a mess. I love him to pieces, but I mean, seriously, everything he touches turns into a mess.
So that's so funny. So your dad knows that, which is why he would say, go easy on him. He's got to clean that room. And I'm like, what do you mean? What does that mean? That's exactly what it means. He wants you to know that he's watching over the both of you and that he loves you very much. He's not missing a single thing. And somebody's got the birthday as well that is coming up again around the kid. Oh no, hold on a second. Your kids are in the spring, aren't they? Their birthdays are closer to the spring.
Yeah, my daughter's in March 28th, and my son is May 16th.
I was going to say, like, you see me doing this because it feels like on either ends of spring is where the kids are. He's like, I was there for that. And it feels like you have another one possibly coming in at some point as well. I just heard never say never.
I was recently pregnant and I miscarried, so I don't know if it's that, but
Oh, let me. So let me just say this because your friends, I think it's her mom that's on the other side. She's like, does she even freaking see me? Like, am I here? Like, hello? It's like, chill out. It's almost your turn. Okay. So what your dad's just said when you said that, and what he wants you to know is that every single soul in this world has a purpose, and not every soul's purpose is to be born and live 100 years. Each one of our souls have a very important purpose. And when you had that miscarriage, it helped you realize, it helped you make a change. It helped you make, go in a new direction, recalculate, if you will. You know what I mean? That was their mission, but that soul is coming back to you. So it's kind of like when you have a miscarriage, if you want it to, right? So when you have a miscarriage or an abortion, it's kind of like if you go buy a car and before you get it off the lot, you realize that it's got a bad tire. You don't take it off the lot. You go, nah, I'm going to leave this one here and I'll wait for the next one because I need a healthy body. I need a good relationship. My parents to have a good relationship before I'm willing to come in. But if I didn't come in and create this scenario, then you wouldn't have changed course. So the whole scenario was meant to help you change course so that you can be where you're meant to be. And when you are ready, he's coming right back to you. If you want that. Do you understand?
Mhm.
Okay, I gotta let them pull their energy back. I say them because your mom, honey's behind there going, just know I'm here too. Your dad hasn't let you have a lot to say or hasn't let her have a lot to say, but she's very much there with them. They're very much there with you, loving you every step of the way. Yes, your mom. I know I got to bring in your friend's mom before she like chokes me. So I think your friend's mom is on the other side because usually they don't step forward with their name, address, and phone number. But this lady's sitting here going, "Mom, mom, 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 mom." Your mom is on the other side, hun.
Yes,
She's got the gentleman underneath of her as well. Is your husband also on the other side, or is this a brother? Because there's two gentlemen. Sorry.
husband.
So she's bringing them forward as well. Let's do a connection exercise with you two, just so I can get new energy here, okay? So what I want you to do is sit with both feet flat on the floor. And I want you to close your eyes and I want you to take a deep breath, picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it directly towards me and give me a minute to focus. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Puzzle dump. Are you ready? Right away, he's making my face very tickly, which is a sign of disfiguration. Or basically, what that means is that at the end of his life, he didn't look like he normally did. He stood right up and he goes, "See, don't I look good on this side? Make sure she knows I look good. I'm okay over here. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay." Excuse me. It's not an accident. I'm getting the hiccups because something else he said is, make sure she knows I can eat again. I've got no nausea. The pain in my stomach is gone. Everything is good. I did feel a little bit of spinning thoughts, which just shows me the inability to communicate before I pass, or that I'm actually spinning when I pass, but I don't think he's actually spinning. I think that because he's also showing me the soul tethered to the body with the spiritual cord. Now, what that means is our soul is tethered to the physical body with a spiritual cord, kind of like a baby is tethered to mom with the umbilical cord. Sometimes at the end of their life, if if the body is experiencing a lot of pain or trauma to the body, the soul will step out of the body but stay attached to the body so that they're not in it feeling the pain that's going on in the body. Sometimes that will happen if that's just a lot of pain or disrepair in the body, or sometimes they'll do that if they pass before anyone is there. They stay attached to the body until somebody gets there. How do you understand this?
Well, he had to be put in a palliative coma.
See? Inability to communicate. As soon as you say that, that's all you had to say. And he's like going really fast. He's been waiting for his turn. He's saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that choice and decision. And he does not want you see me touching my head like this because he keeps saying thoughts. This is my sign for thoughts. He can hear what you're thinking. And he knows that you've had some guilt around that or second guessing. Was this the right choice? Was this the right choice? Was this the right choice? He's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. You need to understand when you made that choice, he was able to get out of the body so he was not feeling the pain of that body, but he stayed with the body waiting for you to be ready to be ready to let him go. Do you
Because he
understand
didn't
that?
want to go in the palliative. He always said, "I don't want to go in there." And then when he passed, he had two big tears coming down. And I knew, I said, he didn't want to. He knows he didn't. I had to. The doctors wouldn't let me say no. My son said, "Mom, you have to. He's in too much pain." And I said, "No, your dad don't want to go in the palliative coma," but he did it anyway. And I feel guilty about that.
Nah, he said, put that out of your head because you know what you did in that moment was you took him out of the body that was in so much pain. He was in pain in there. And when you made that decision, within a few days, he was able to pass. Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Two
So
days.
that's what I'm saying. His soul was at peace. He stepped out of his body but stayed connected to the body. And all he wants you to know is that you made the right choice. Please know that. What's interesting is that you're French, aren't you? Because he's speaking a lot of French. All I can hear is, je t'aime, mon chéri, je t'aime, mon chéri, je t'aime, je t'aime, je t'aime, je t'aime. And I'm like, okay, this English. I'm French. I remember that. And then he tried to speak a whole bunch of other French to me, and I'm like, I just remember Je t'aime mon chéri and fermez la grande bouche, Tracy. And he's like, don't say that one. He's very excited to be connected to your mom. I feel like he's getting to know her a lot better on that side, which is interesting. Did she pass a long time before he did?
Yes, she did. She was 65 years old when she passed away.
She's funny because she just brags. She goes, na 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 na. I'm young forever on this side. You're gonna be old. And she's just kidding though.
Yeah, because he was only 60.
No, she's talking about you.
She's saying that you're gonna be old.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
My mom's saying that?
Yeah.
Because she's kind of teasing you in a sense. You know how we think, and I say think because it's not the case. You know how we think that whatever age we die on is how age we are on that side. So if you think she died when she's 60 forever on that side. If you're going to be 90 or 100 when you die, you're going to be old. She's like, aha, you're going to be old forever. No, you're not. When we get to that side, our soul kind of reverts back to whatever age we felt the healthiest and the best at. Your husband just said, yeah, remember that. I looked like I did in those wedding pictures. He's like, I haven't looked like that forever. And again, emphasizing the food and the eating. Do you understand that? Was he nauseous for a while or couldn't eat what he wanted to eat?
He was.
Because he said, he goes, what's with the cooking? Where's my dinners? You're not cooking the way you used to cook. If he was here, you'd be cooking for him.
Yes.
He tastes what you taste, and he doesn't like what you're eating recently. You're not eating the way you would have when he was here.
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand that?
I don't know if it's because I eat only one meal a day.
That's not even bad for you, actually. I'll tell you that. That's not bad for you. That is actually very healthy for you to do that, as long as he said the only thing that's tripping you up is that you're having milk in your coffee or something. Do you drink coffee in the morning?
Oh, yes.
You have milk and cream in your coffee?
I have 4 cream in my coffee.
And you have a dinner every night?
Yeah.
If you will stop drinking cream in your coffee and just drink water and keep that one meal a day in the evening, first thing that's going to happen within 1 month, you'll drop 25 pounds. The inflammation in your knees and your legs is going to be gone. It will go away like that. Fasting is one of the quickest way to get rid of the inflammation. But if you're putting milk and stuff in your coffee, you're not fasting. So it's not working for you. You're not getting the benefit out of it. So if you're going to do that one meal a day, try drinking black coffee, or I know that's hard when you've done it for so many years, but you can do it. And if you can do that, I'm telling you, because he put the white blanket around your shoulders and then pulled it off again. The white blanket is my symbol for watching over somebody that has health or stress issues. And it just feels like pain, like in your legs especially. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So the fact that you can fast for 24 hours, you're a step ahead. You're a step ahead already. Fast for 24 hours. I would even give you some berberine. Do you know what berberine is?
No,
Are you a little bit diabetic or
no.
anything? Okay. So berberine, all it does is it kind of keeps your blood sugar regulated more, it keeps your blood sugar down, takes away any cravings for sweets or anything like that. And just makes it easier to fast, to be honest with you. But
Okay.
like I said, if you completely take the milk out of your coffee and you have black coffee, within 1 month, you're going to see such dramatic changes in your health. It will blow your mind. Blow your mind. He gave you a whole bunch of flowers. So he's been gone for some time too, hasn't he? Has he been gone for like 8, 10 years maybe?
No. 4 years.
Interesting. Time is so relative, isn't it? When I'm doing these readings, sometimes a year can feel like 20 or 20 can feel like 1. And he's making me feel like it feels like it's been a decade already. Like it feels like it's been so long.
but it feels like it's just been yesterday.
You've been seeing the birds around you as well, haven't you?
Yes.
It's funny, I keep seeing two of them though, because your mom is so behind him. Like every time he's saying a word, she's like, yeah, me too. I'm right here too. Like she's trying to push him out of the way to get through and let you know that she's okay as well. But I'm kind of not letting her because she's trying to cheat. She's got dad with her, and there's another young soul there with her as well. Do you have a brother or something on the other side as well? There's another young man, somebody that passed before we think of as their time. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're 10 or 20. They could have been 50 or 60. It just means they didn't live till 90 or 100 like we would think of as a long life.
Not that I can think of. My
Somebody,
sister passed away.
pardon?
My sister passed away. She was 33.
There you go. So this is who's coming under the young soul that she would be bringing forward underneath of her. What got me confused, because your dad's energy is so strong. This is why I say to you, they don't step forward with their name, address, or phone number. They step forward with their energy. So your sister is stepping forward. Your mom's bringing her forward. Okay, slow this down. Your sister just made my head hurt. Hold on. She definitely has a lot more peace on that side. She just made my head hurt as she stepped forward, and I tasted blood, which is trauma. I just feel everything happened so quickly. Boom, like boom. I don't know what that means. How did she pass?
We can't prove it, but apparently her husband took her. He killed her.
I got ya. Do you see what I mean? Trauma. I taste the blood. I feel the impact in the head.
She
They
was
want you to, pardon?
And she was diabetic, and he didn't give her medicine.
Wow, now I have chills because I'm telling you, it's not an order, or I mean, it's not an accident in the order that these messages come through. And so your husband and your mom are giving you the information. Like, remember, I just said, are you diabetic? Because I can feel like it can run in your family as well. You know what I mean? And so they're going to give you the message that will give you comfort, just like your friends loved ones were giving them cayenne pepper. You need berberine. Do you know what I mean? So they know what's going on in your world, and your sister knows that she suffered from this. She's not going to let you suffer from this either. But I do want to say something. She said that you know that you were right about this. You know that you're right about this. But what's interesting is her husband's gone now, isn't he?
We don't know where he is.
Oh, I do. I want you to pray for his soul. I want you to pray for his soul. That's what she's saying. Pray for his soul because he's not in a good place. You can't outrun the consequences. You know what I mean? Even if you don't see justice here on earth, justice, you do not evade justice. First of all, it feels like he had a traumatic death. And secondly, it feels like he's still, I don't want to use that word, but he is in a place where he's still being inspired to seek God, if you will. He's still, so she's praying for him and thanking you for forgiving him. Slow this down. She's got your dog. Did you lose a dog?
No.
She's very specifically, it could be a cat. It feels like a dog, but all I know is she's showing me, see, animals, our pets come as like little spirit guide balls. She's like, let her know I've got him. I 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 got him. It could be a her. I don't know. I don't see sex that way, but she's very much got the animal on the other side. So somebody lost the pet that they were very close to. For your sister to be bringing this up, she wants you to know that did she like animals when she was here in the physical world?
Yes.
She's the keeper of the animals on the other side. Her job up there, and she said, well, you keep asking, what do you do up there all day? What do you do in heaven? What do you do in heaven? You wanted to know what she does in heaven all these years. She's watching the animals. So every time you lose a pet here, they go up to her. She's the one in charge of caring for your animals.
Oh.
She's talking about a picture. You still have a picture of her?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you're looking for
Sorry, it's my sister.
it.
Another sister, she's calling me.
It's not an accident. Again, they're teaching you their language right now. This is how spirit talks. We're talking to your sister, so you line up with sister.
Yeah, she's in the hospital.
She's watching over her too. Mom's watching over her as well.
Do you see my dad?
Sorry?
Do you see my father?
Definitely stepping forward. Hold on. You got two energies that stepped forward when I said that, and one saluted you, which is a connection with the uniform, fire, police, military, ambulance, or some kind of uniform that they were very proud of. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Who is that? Because I think your dad and your grandfather.
My grandfather, no, I don't think it's my grandfather, but it could be. My dad was an orderly. He worked in the manor.
There you go. This is
No,
why I'm saying which one of them is it? Because I see two men. When you said, is my dad there? He brought his dad with him too. And they saluted me, showing me the connection with the uniform so that I know that we are bringing through the right people.
because I lost them both. My husband, I lost three the same year. I lost my father-in-law in February, my husband in March, and my dad in November.
That's who the other father figure is. I try sometimes so hard not to just assume, but I do. I assume that when you say dad and two men step forward, it's dad and grandpa. But I didn't know you lost your father-in-law as well. That makes sense. So as soon as you said, "Is my dad there?" Both dads, dad and father-in-law, step forward because they don't differentiate between daughter-in-law or daughter. Or you said, "Is dad there?" Both dads step forward for you.
Yeah.
They're together. They're getting to know each other on the other side. Um, One doesn't speak French though, does he?
No, one is very French.
One is very, okay, so one is very French and the other one doesn't speak it as well as the other one. Like there's a big differentiation between this guy's very French, this guy not so much.
Because my father-in-law was from Quebec, so he's really French.
But so is your dad.
My dad is French too, yeah.
Why does one feel more French than the other? How do I understand that?
Maybe because my father-in-law lived in Quebec.
Ah, I see. See, only I could understand that. I totally get it. Do you want to know why I understand that? Because half my family is French, and you know what? I can say this because half my family are French. The French are snobs about the French. The French think that the French are the best of the best of the best. So if you're not living in Quebec, you're not really French.
Yeah.
I'm more French. I'm in Quebec. You see what I mean? They're kind of snobs that way. That's his personality coming out.
Mm-hmm.
He needs you to know that he's got relief. I think this is father-in-law, although they both feel like they died of similar things, like maybe different cancers or injuries or something, but similar. Like I get weaker and weaker. Um,
Yeah,
hold
my
on.
father was cancer. My dad was dementia.
There you go. Weaker and weaker and weaker. And you see me scratching my face because somebody was making me feel like they did not look at the end of their life the way that they did in the physical, but that matches both of them. So your dad needs you to know that. So he must have been there for at least a year before he actually passed over because he showed me the spinning thoughts. And then he said, but I heard everything you guys said to me. I heard everything and my heart felt it. Even if my mouth wasn't able to communicate that I knew you were there or everything that was going on, I did know that you were there. I did understand everything you were saying. And just know mom came to get him because he's like, look at how beautiful she is. Like that's what he's showing me that moment when mom's right there and he's like, oh, yes. And all I feel is peace knowing that they're together again. Now your father-in-law, but see, your father-in-law has his wife too. So is your mother-in-law also on the other side? Because she's standing right beside him too. She's very well put together. I will give you that. Do you know that about her here in the physical world? Like she's dressed to the nines.
Oh, yeah.
That is so funny. You know what I just figured out? So Your mother-in-law, I can feel like the culturalness, the generation in there. Like the older generations would not be caught dead going to the store in their pajamas, would they? They get up, they get dressed, they dress up for important events. Your friend's husband got dressed up. He didn't really want to, but he dressed up for this. Why? Because your mother-in-law is over there bossing everybody around saying, if we're going to this, I'm not going to this with you unless you put on a freaking suit. So he put on the suit to communicate with them and then took it right off the second that I connected. He's like, see, I don't have to be in a suit. She knows I'm here.
Yeah.
They're very much watching over you. A lot of what was said today is meant for you as well, about planting seeds and thinking about what you want, not what you don't want. They're encouraging you to think about healing and visualize your sister healing, visualize yourself feeling better, visualize those kinds of things, and then they can line it up for you. Okay, so your husband just pushed everybody out of the way. He goes back to me again, back to me. He said that you saw him in a crowd. Now, what that means is that you could have been out and about doing something and you look and you see somebody that looks just like him. Have you experienced something like that since he passed? That makes you do a double take? Like, is that, oh, okay, corner of my eye, that looked just like my husband for a second there. Have you experienced something like that?
Yeah.
That's his way of letting you know that he's with you at that exact moment. See, they don't want you to miss out. They don't want to miss out on the moments that are important to you. So even if you're just going out grocery shopping or something, he wants you to know that he's there with you. So you might see somebody in the crowd that makes you do a double take. If you're going to celebrate a wedding or something, you're going to have to do a double take thinking you see him. That's him letting you know he's there with you. Do you see what I'm saying? Is he buried as well?
Is he what?
Buried?
No.
Because he's patting the ground beside him like, I got space for you too. There's space for you here too. We got it. It's all ready for you too. So what that tells me, not that he's like killing you off or anything, but that usually is a sign to me that the arrangements for your passing have already been made, that you and him are going to be laid to rest together when you actually cross over. Do you understand that?
Yes. I've got him in my room.
And he's waiting for you to be with him so that you guys can be laid to rest together. That's why he's like, I'm waiting for you, babe. There's space here for you. I'm waiting for you. He's thanking you at Christmas time. As he's pulling his energy back, he's going with you, and I'm seeing Christmas, which it's interesting because he's making me feel like maybe it wasn't his favorite time here in the physical world, or like he didn't make a huge deal of it here in the physical when he was here. But since he's been gone, he's felt how hard it's been for the family around that time. So he's thanking you for talking about him. He's thanking you for, there's something that you still do, a tradition that you've done to continue this along. It's like he's saying, thank you for doing Christmas anyway. As much as this hurts you, I need you to know that I'm there for that. I promise you I'm there for that. Do you have an ornament with his name or something? Did you get an ornament for him after he passed?
Yeah.
See, he's there with you and he knows that. And if you tell him, all right, honey, if you're here for Christmas, make something happen. Make something so big and obvious happen that we can't deny that it's you. Show me you're there. And then watch you get up Christmas morning and the lights will all be flashing, or the tree's going to fall down, or something big is going to be happen that will prove to you that he's there. Because you just asked for a sign and bam, it's going to smack you over the face. And then you're going to know that he's there. He's not missing the tradition of, your husband likes a lot. He likes to eat. I'm telling you that. Because again, he's reminding you, don't forget breakfast, Christmas breakfast and Christmas dinner. We get both. There's a tradition of cooking Christmas breakfast and Christmas dinner. Yeah?
Yeah.
So know that what you cook and what you do, he's there with you, experiencing every single bit of it with you. What you taste, he tastes. Because your senses are sensing the energy of the world all around you. He's pure energy. So he doesn't need a physical body to sense the energy. What you taste, he tastes. What you smell, he smells. What you feel, he feels. if you need to know he's around you, you just tell him and think about him and tell him what signs and symbols you need and watch him show them to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so let's say like many times I feel like, my God, I wish I could make him a grilled cheese or I could make him a spaghetti. Like,
That's him talking to you. Do you know why you're thinking that? Because when he's talking to you, he sounds like a thought that interrupts the rest of your thoughts. That's what he sounds like. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Because so each one of our 5 physical senses sense the variations of vibrations of this physical reality. Our physical reality is just made up of a bunch of different vibrations. So your eyes pick up vibrations your ears don't understand. Your ears pick up vibrations your nose don't understand, et cetera, right? So now this is the analogy I give that really helps you understand this. Let's say you have a dog and you come home and you walk in the door and your nose picks up the vibration of poop. Now your brain translates that because it smelt that vibration before. It knows what that vibration is. So it translates it into a thought and it says, that's poop. Now, if your eyes look for the poop and you don't see any there, you can't see it. You don't say to yourself, oh, silly me, I'm just thinking about poop today. No, you know that if your nose is picking up the vibration of poop, even if your eyes can't see it, it's there somewhere. So you're going to keep looking.
yeah,
Now, what's going on when you're thinking, I should make him a grilled cheese? What's going on is your husband is talking to you and you are hearing his voice through your heart. Your heart picks up his vibrational presence and interprets it in your mind as a thought that interrupts the rest of your thought, just like you do when you smell an energy around you. So every time you get those thoughts, I should make him a sandwich. Do it. Make him that sandwich. And as you're eating that sandwich, you're going to feel him hugging you in that moment. You're going to feel his love with you, not his absence. Does that
yeah,
make
because
sense?
I'm having a hard time accepting it. Like it's been 4 years and
Yeah.
it, it's still too hard.
You know why? That's why he told you that you weren't cooking enough and you weren't doing the things that he needed you to do. And the reason is, this happens to people a lot. When we lose somebody, we say to ourselves, it's too painful to keep doing the things I used to do with them. If I do these things I used to do with them, I just feel their absence everywhere and it's too painful. So you stop doing the things you used to do with them. Now what's going to happen is you're going to feel their absence even more, because not only did you lose the person that you love, you lost the activities and the things that you used to love to do together. Now, what happens is if you do the things you used to love to do with them, they show up. So I'll give you another example with my dad. My dad passed a few years back too. And we come from a big bowling family. You know the French. Some of the French, they're big bowlers now, aren't they? So when I was born, I was gifted a ball with my even name on it. When I was 16, they drilled my fingers, holes, everything. That's how serious of bowlers they are. But I hadn't been bowling since my dad passed. So a few months back, one day, I just had the idea. We had some time and a little bit of money. And I was like, okay, let's go bowling, you guys. We haven't been bowling in years. So I packed up my ball with my name on it. And I was like, all right, Dad, I sure miss you. I wish you were here. I want to go bowling with you. I loved bowling with you. It's something him and I used to do all the time. So I was like, Dad, I need you to show me that you're with me today. We're going to go bowling, but I need you to come with me. So you need to line things up so I feel your presence. Show me that you're there. And so what happened was, first of all, on the way there, I started seeing Ontario license plates everywhere because my family left Quebec and moved to Ontario. So that's where they were all from. So I started seeing Ontario license plates all over the place. And then when we got there, within 5 frames, first of all, let me just say, when we got there, my dad and I used to bowl for 2 hours, right? That's what most league bowlers do. You go for about 2 hours. But when we got there, the price of bowling has like quadrupled in the last 10 years. It's now $62 an hour. So I only paid for 1 hour. Anyway, within 5 frames, my ball got stuck in the little machine thing. And it took them 7 minutes to get it out, which is a long time when you're paying by the hour. So I expected them to refund my 7 minutes. But instead, they said, no, to make this up for you, we're going to give you a free hour.
Oh,
So this is what I mean. So my dad showed up, got my ball stuck so he could get me the free hour, so that now we got 2 hours, just like I would have had if dad was here. I knew
That-
he was with me. Now, if you stop doing the things you used to do with him, then you lose him and the joy that you had of the life with him. When you do the things you used to like to do with him and you invite him along, miracles happen and things line up so you feel his presence, not his absence. He's been dead long enough, hasn't he?
4 years.
He's not dead. He's alive. He's just invisible. I want you to see him as the dust in the room all around you. You can't see him with your physical eyes, but he's there. And when you tell him you need him and you tell him you need a sign so big you can't miss it, he will deliver. Watch for those breadcrumbs because he's not gone. He's still with you. And this is why I do the work that I do, because I promise you, when we get off of this call, the next year is going to be about you learning to live with him in a different way. I'll say it to you like this. If your husband had to pick up and move to Germany for the rest of his years here on earth, would you have said to him and you and say, well, dead and gone, bye, he's gone out of my life? Or would you find a new way to communicate?
I'd find a new way.
So he's not dead and gone. Stop saying that to yourself. Because every time you say that, you're going to feel the pain and you're going to experience a reality of dead and gone. Start telling yourself, he's just invisible and he's with me. All right. What was his name?
Gee,
Guy? You say, all right, Guy, show me you're here. Make something happen so big I can't miss it. I need to feel your presence with me. And then the more you do that, the more you're going to feel his presence, the more you're going to know he is with you. Invisible, but he's still here. There is no such thing as death.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
yes.
All right. Okay, I'm going to let them pull their energy back. He just put the heart around all of them. Just know how much you guys are loved. And I kind of like what your family did here, what your loved ones did. They kind of gave you a group reading for a cheap price. Like, so
Yeah.
you guys, it's all your family, right? Christina here, I already read for her before we even started. And so today's group was just for you guys. They can make anything happen, anything. So you tell them what you need, they will line it up for you so dramatically that it will be mathematically impossible to be fluke, random, or chance. Make
Thank
sense?
you very much.
You're very welcome. I hope this was helpful, you guys.
Yes,
was. Thank
it
you
was.
so much.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right. Have an amazing rest of your day, you guys.
Me too.
Thank you. You are amazing.
Oh, thank you. Love you guys. Mwah.
Bye, Tracy.
Bye, sweetheart. And you, Missy, you know that because you have some hard days coming up here, I just want you to know my door's open. You need me, I'm here. Okay?
Okay,
So,
All right. Have an amazing rest of your night, guys. Bye.
you too, bye.